Okay, so this one you have to do it using synthetic division. So first what you have to do is this. You get this number, okay, that's 70. That number gives you your p-values, but you have to find the factors of 70. Okay, so what are the factors of 70? It's 1, 2 is a factor of 70, 3 is not, 4 is not, 5 is a factor of 70, 6 is not, 7 is, 8, 9 is not, 10 is, 14 is a factor of 70, 35 is a factor of 70, and then 70 is a factor of 70. So how does that work? So like, for example, 1 times 70 gives you 70, right? 2 times 35, 5 times 14, and so on. But also you can multiply like 2 times 35 or negative 2 times negative 35. So all of these also have their minus counterparts. So one way to do it is it's plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 5. But the shortcut to writing all that is you say plus or minus 1 and then all of those. Okay, then you need this number q. Q, you get it from the coefficient of the leading term. So that's 1. Well, the factors of 1 are plus or minus 1. So now you have to do this thing called P over Q, which means you get every single one of the Q's and you divide it by every single one of the P's divided by every single one of the Q's. So here this is 1 over 1, 2 over 1, 5 over 1. So basically you're going to get the same numbers back. 1, 2, 5, 7, 10, 14, 35, 70. Okay, so those are your P over Q's. Now what you're going to do is there are how many numbers here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 2 because it's plus or minus 16 total numbers. You basically have to do synthetic division with every single one of those until you find the first one that gives you a 0. Okay, so it's kind of a pain in the neck. So like, for example, like you try, 1, you get 1, negative 13, 54, negative 70. Let's see if that's going to work. Negative 12, that's 36, 32. Okay, that didn't give you a 0, so that doesn't work. So then you have to do negative 1, 2, negative 2, 5, so on. Okay, so I kind of cheated, and I know that the one that works is 5, so we're going to do it with the 5. So it's 1, negative 13, 54, negative 70. So 1 comes down. 5, negative 8, negative 40, 14, 70, that gives you 0. Okay, so now the depressed polynomial, okay, so we get x minus 5 from here, and this gives you x squared minus 8x plus 14 is equal to 0. All right, so now you can either factor this or do the quadratic formula. So that doesn't factor, or actually, yeah, that one doesn't factor, so we have to do the quadratic formula. All right, so here I have x equals 5 from the first one, and then here x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2. So this is x equals 8 plus or minus the square root of 64 minus 56 all over 2. So that's 8 plus or minus the square root of 8 over 2. This is 8 plus or minus, 8 is 2 root 2 over 2. Divide everything by 2. And you get 4 plus or minus root 2. So the roots are x equals 5, and then 4 plus or minus root 2, right? So here you get x equals 5, that's one root. 4 plus root 2 is another one. 4 minus root 2 is a third one. And since the leading term, the degree is 3, You needed to have 3 roots, and there they are. Okay? All right.